Hey everybody, I hope you're having a great Friday night. This is Sean Bullock with the Black Sheep Society, and I'm just doing my very first ever YouTube video. I was on Facebook since 2007. I got my account wiped out by Meta because they did not like my message, or either that or I had somebody that kept reporting me or knew somebody in Facebook, because they did not even give me the option to be able to appeal it. Now in order to do anything, they're wanting me to take like video surveillance of my face and turn my head all these different directions, and yet they won't tell me exactly what I did. And so that's really what this video is about. It's kind of like, okay, why did I get kicked off of Facebook and everything I've ever done erased? You know, and that's really had me kind of like questioning some things. What is it that I said or could have said that could have gotten either somebody mad, right, that knew somebody at Facebook to be able to do this to me, or what was the trigger point behind that? And really, I think what it comes down to is just part of being a black sheep. You know, when we came up with the Black Sheep Society, it was all kind of around this model of truth, identity, and empowerment. We would say, hey, you know what? You are a black sheep. You're not made to fit in. You're made to stand out. You know, you're living in a world with bleach sheep where everybody's bleaching themselves white, trying to fit into the crowd. But once you understand who you are, we're kings, we're queens, we're generals. Once we have that identity and understanding what this is, then everything changes. And that was really what the video was about that Meta took down. It was how I have come back from this place of the I don't know, meaning that I have gone as far as I can possibly go in my mind at this moment, and I hit a wall that says I don't know. But what I do know are the cracks in the holes that I have punched through before I hit there. And what I have seen and what I am seeing as I macro out on everything, we are seeing these breadcrumbs from the beginning of the history of what we know as humanity all the way up to this very now moment, all pointing us back to the same thing, all pointing us back to ourselves. And so that's what the Black Sheep Society is. That's what this channel is going to be about. It's going to be for the red pill takers. It's going to be for those that dare to have enough courage to ask themselves the questions that they've never given themselves permission to ask. It's going to be for those that are willing to challenge the status quo and be a contradiction to this world's values because they see through the bullshit. It's going to be for those that are willing to embrace every single belief and just kind of open your hands and let go of those things and create a conscious growth mindset. Because what's going to happen for a lot of us is you're going to go down the rabbit hole and you're going to start unraveling, and you're going to start seeing how things have been manipulated to you, and you're going to go through all kinds of experiences with that. But on the other side of that, guys, there is a peace that really kind of passes all understanding, because you finally understand who you are. You finally understand what this is. You finally understand it's not what religion has told you. It's not what, spirituality and animism and all these other types of carrots that we've created to try to find something outside of ourselves to make us feel better about ourselves and to bring validation through something external. It's not about any of those things. What it's about us returning back to this place of origin, this place of identity, this place of knowing, this place of remembering who and what we are. And when we do that, what happens is we will bust through the egregores that are using fear to dominate, manipulate, and control the world. And when we do that, now all of a sudden we start raising some red flags, because see, as long as we're fighting each other and killing each other and chasing religions and chasing ideologies and chasing dogmas and chasing spirituality and chasing aliens and chasing all of this other kind of stuff, they don't really care, right? But when you start saying, okay, now we see what this is, now we understand who we are, now we understand our identity, now let's kind of reevaluate everything it is that we think that we know. And let's go and take inventory, because now for the first time in history, we've got science, we've got history, we've got all kinds of, someone's waving at me on their scooter. We've got science, we've got history, and we've got all the ancient texts now. As we're macroing out, we're seeing these giant breadcrumbs, and they all point back to us. That we are the ones that we have been looking for. We just did not understand that. And we accepted something because it was easier for us to accept something that was maybe programmed to us than for us to actually have to embrace ourselves in those places where we told ourselves that we were not enough. You see, that's what all this comes down to. It comes down to us stepping into this place of the isness and the allness that is and has ever been, slowing ourselves down to a place of visibility in the form of energy, which we know creates what we call matter, which creates the formation of what we see in our reality right now in the world and even of our physical bodies. We understand that we're not even we're not even perceiving 1/1000th of a percent of who and what we are. We are 99.99999% pure energy, pure light. We're only 0.0001% matter, matter being energy slowed down to visibility. So guys, we're not perceiving much. We're understanding even less than that. They say we're only comprehending about 0.005% of our capabilities, and so what we are understanding, guys, is that we have made this too small. We have figured out that we are all interconnected. We have figured out that fear is the gateway that comes after a lens of separation. It's always what this lens of separation, in the ancient texts, even in the Old Testament, that sin in the original language meant mistaken identity or not knowing one's origins. Sins, plural, meant the patterns and behaviors that come from that mistaken identity. And then we miss the mark. Miss the mark on what? On who we've always been, right? Our true origins. So we start living to these narratives and these stories that have made us less than instead of more than enough, that have spoken and told us how broken we are and how messed up we are. And that's why in mankind's grasp to be able to feel safe and secure, we have clung to religion, we have clung to spirituality in spite of critical thinking. In spite of saying, wait a minute, even though they're telling me this and there's something inside of me that feels like this isn't right, they say it, so I have to accept it, because it's a lot easier for me to accept their truth than it is for me to actually do my own homework and discover what is it that I actually believe. So that's what the Black Sheep Society is, guys. And I really hope that you guys will share this video. I don't have any friends on YouTube. I had no idea how many. I had about 7,000 followers on Facebook, and a lot of those were friends that I interacted with. And I told my wife today, I was like, man, I feel lonely, not being able to get back on anything that is meta anymore, because that's where all my people were. So I thought, well, I'll just try YouTube and see if they kick me off of here too. And, maybe there's a way that I can be able to communicate and get back in touch with all those people that I love and have had those friendships with for a lot of years on Facebook. If you guys follow me here, we can at least stay in touch. So have a beautiful weekend and a beautiful, I think it's Memorial Weekend. And just remember, guys, you're black sheep, right? We're not made to fit in. We're made to stand out. Your kings, your queens, your generals. That's who you really are. You are the essence of all things, experiencing itself in every possible way to bring a conclusive subjective foundation to a one now moment when we saw ourselves resonating at the highest potential of what we know as authenticity. Everything else that comes from that place of us observing a self is a story or a narrative that we have told ourselves when we have said that we are not good enough. And those are the lies that we are going to be breaking down, and we're going to be pushing through. And we're going to be able to see that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And guess what? At the end of the day, you're going to have a choice. You're going to get to figure out who you're going to play next. And I'll tell you what that means next time. Talk to you soon.